Hello, welcome to Successful Trading, where we help you take your trading to the next level. In this video, we are going to spend the time with an activity that is a little bit forgotten as part of your day trading routine, which is how to build or how to create your daily watch list. So without any further ado, let us go ahead and dive in. Okay, folks, the process of creating a daily watch list, if you are into day trading of stock or option, it's something that you have to develop as a trader as part of your routine. So there are different strategies out there, obviously. If you have been part of this channel, you have seen us and our unique approach, the option that we trade. We have a watch list that's valid for us for the entire week. That's not what we want to talk about here today. We want to talk about how you can go actively each morning, spending not that much time really, because there are tools nowadays that enable you to do that screening fairly easily. So for me, one such tool is Finviz. We have talked about it in great deal. Its ease of displaying charts, really, it's it's so much attractive for me on this tool. But let me take you through the steps on here on how you go from scratch about building your daily watch list of stocks which you can turn around and trade option with, right? So if let's say you are somebody who trade exclusively stock or penny stock, we have made videos at how to make usage of it. Those videos, we will put them in the description, so that's for you here. So the focus on here really is going to be, hey, we want to trade optionable stocks. So from that point of view, the first thing that we're going to do, actually, let me go ahead here and start from scratch. Yeah. So I'm just going to go to screener and just start from scratch. All right. Very good. Start from scratch. The first thing, selection, option or short, we want optionable. The price. This is obviously a subject of debate on here. My personal approach into trading option is that I want to trade options that are very liquid. So price hence that influences the price a little bit. So typically I put above 20, but don't be put up by this. You will select whatever that you want in terms of price. And then volume, average daily volume. Those three are the starting foundation of selecting stock that I want to trade as part of my watch list building. Now, we go into something that I've been repeating recently. If asked, from this point forward, if you what's your favorite stock? Stop for a moment. If you're a day trader, having a favorite stock, I'm not saying you shouldn't have one, but your favorite stock, at least for me, my favorite stock is whichever one is moving the fastest on that day, or on that week, or on that month, whatever timeline that I am taking. I'm not married to this stock. You know that by now. And I will trade a stock directionally, which no matter the direction. If a stock is bearish, I trade it bearishly. If a stock is bullish, I trade it bearishly. So in building your watch list, now you can say, okay, you're going to scan maybe for stock that have a bullish setup, if you like trading calls. Hint, hint. Yeah. So there's nothing wrong with that. Yeah. Some of us, maybe we prefer, if you have a choice, feeling dirty. There's a private joke here inside of Successful Tradings, how if you feel dirty about trading puts, stock that are going down, we just take several shower. Yeah. So that's not a problem. Most likely after this video, I'm going to take a shower again, because I don't know if I'm going to be talking about puts on here. But this is the foundation of that. Now, when you do that here, there are over 7,000 stock in the US, 7,400 something, and growing, because there are IPOs each and every day, but especially since 2020, right? So now you can go filter, you can refine that watch list, because obviously here the outputs of that is 1,151 stock. That's too many, right? You want to be able to add some extra qualifier onto it, and that's where your specific bias or how the market is going that day. But the main thing that you absolutely want to do in pre-market into building your watch list is to be able to have access to see what's moving in either direction. Finviz does that very quickly on here. We have done this before. Yeah, we just toggle on the change on here. You get the bearish side in this case. The market is closed today in observance of Friday, Good Friday. So, but here, this is what like. There's a strategy that for us we like to use on here actually, that in building our watch list, sometimes we build our watch list from the previous day and we can even take trade off of that. Meaning a momentum trade. When a stock finishes the day in a certain manner, in a certain fashion. Let's pick an example here. I didn't take any of those, but for instance, okay, here's QS, right? QS, this stock, we actually traded it on Friday, but we didn't make money on it. But my friend, sometimes a loss is setting ourselves to winning. So as of now, I'm giving you that over the next few days, QS is going to be part of our watch list. Yeah, the day trade didn't work out on Friday. That's fine, because here it is a gap. It finds itself now in the middle of no man's land, if you wish, right? So that's one way to take stock that were moving the previous day to consider them for today in your pre-market. So you can definitely do that, but obviously the momentum for that day value as well. So step number one, do your basic foundation. What's optional about the price that you want? Step number two, the previous day of trading, what are the stock that were moving, and obviously the current day of trading, because you are doing this in pre-market, what's moving on there. So that will yield you a third step on here, but still you will have way too many stocks. That's where you can go now to the technical part, and the technical button on here has a slew of options, folks, that you can really use to be able to trade specific thing. And for me, this is a simple one on here, right? These moving averages, we have been talking about them. So this is now your ability. Yes, Finviz, I know they don't use exponential moving average, but that's fine. Simple moving averages for looking for the walls. They tell you the same story about a price. So one simple way here, it's where's your price in relation to your, let's say, your most recent momentum, simple moving average 20, meaning the average price over the last 20 days. That's what 20 means on there. Here's an example: 44 stocks. That's not bad at all. That's not bad at all. 44 stock, but that's watch list maybe a little bit. So in that case, for me, I will try to, let's say, I mean, obviously here you can filter that. You can filter change, ask it to give you bearish or bullish, or you can filter by price on here to pick whichever one. For me, what I'm trading option, I'm always picking the stock that have the highest price, as long as they have enough volume on the stock. We guarantee that enough people are trading those options as well. So in that case on here, you could just say, okay, fine. If I filter by price on here, maybe I'm going to focus on this. But you have an idea on here of these stocks that are all trading 10% or higher above the simple moving average. So meaning that the overall trend recently has been bullish. There are so many combinations, right? So the price just crossed the simple moving average. Yeah, that's the price cross the simple moving average. Let's below or above. So SMA cross above, SMA 20 cross above SMA 20. That's something that for us we have used on here. So momentum of a stock that typically are doing something recently that's trumps which that has been going on in the past. So that's what a most recent moving average, so let's say 20 versus 50 will tell you. Will tell you that, hey, over the last 20 days, this is what's happening versus over the last 50 days. So whatever that's direction of that simple moving average or EMAs, no matter how you set up your chart, it's telling you that's a direction. So in this case here, let's look at take a look here. And then the beauty of this, right? Bang, I can just chart them. It took its time, but here are some of the few here with this condition of SMA 20 above SMA 50. Look what it's yielding on here. Let's take a look at like HD. Look at this. This is a breakout stock that happened recently, folks. Quietly just posting higher highs with this huge acceleration of the SMA 5 that just, yeah, those are the staple stock that you will have liked to get, let's say, somewhere here, or because actually the moment this line here, this trend line, when it broke it, the price at the time was about 283. Now 10 days later it's trading at 307. So this is an idea. For instance, we have talked about it on here, and we are going to feature it here today about the bullish cross of two EMAs 20 versus 50, it's okay. 8, if you want to use 8 versus 20, we do that. So 8 will be the most recent momentum, 20 will be the old momentum. So that's what's illustrated on here, to trying to find trades that you can take over a semi long-term range, or even trade on a daily basis as part of your day trading routine, because those stocks are telling us that, hey, there's something moving on here. So you have a slew of combination on here, folks, that you can definitely decide to use consistently. I mean, this one produced SMA below SMA 50, SMA 20 below SMA 20. You know, that one is the bearish one. So in case you want to be trading bearish type of trend on here, such an example, I mean, it was broken recently this past week, but this one, for instance, Tesla was doing that. Actually, the uptrend now is about to resume. So spotting Tesla on here is actually in a nice scenario in that case. Let's go ahead on here. So look at some of the, so if you don't want to use the moving average, some other technicality are on here. Again, the end of the game is to find stock that are moving fast. Yeah, fast in either direction. Now you can decide again to use it on the direction that you are more comfortable trading, and implement that on here. So for instance, there is an option on here under the technical one, average true range. Yeah, average true range is every day we look at the high, the distance between the high and the low, that because that gives us the amplitude, if you will, right? The rate of change of a stock. If it's statistical, doesn't mean that on that is going to move as such, but yeah, finding things that have a big average true range. So let's say on here, what's a big average true range? You stock moving by $4 or more in a given day. That's pretty bad. So here are some. Obviously, this stock like $4 for Google or Amazon is not much. Yeah, so you need to take that with a grain of salt. Meaning all of these guys, it's easier for them to have that. Now, if you go and say, okay, over 5. Actually, it's 5 the highest one? Yeah, it's 5. That's the highest one. But then you will have to use other type of condition overall. So for instance, you can say that, oh, if the price of the stock is between $20 and $50 and is moving $3-4 per day, now you got my attention. That's definitely something that it's moving. So you can do those type of selection on here. So actually, let's go ahead and do that. So here we're going to say above 4. But then before we go to the chart, let's just go to the performance view again, and then filter by price on here. So we're going to say, okay, give us the smallest price. Okay, there's some stock on here. Canaan, for instance, has been a stock that has been moving. How do we know? We have seen that move recently. So let's maybe go to overview. Yeah, in the overview, it's a $22 stock, but it's telling us that its ATR is over 4. That's very, very interesting. So all of these, yeah, less than $50, that's what we filter on this sense on here. Which other one? QS goes into that category. QS is a stock that move generally. Jumia, our latest little I think that's we have been trading on here. Plug, yeah. Plug is a $35 stock. Plug just went to, you can see this chart there, $70 to $35 in a matter of a couple of months, 50% down. Yeah, will you have been able to trade that in that direction without any type of issue? So the tool here, all right, gives you all of those technical and view. So what I did, we go from descriptive where we have the basic one, and then you come here to refine your list on here. So in this case, let's even say, okay, you want something that has the volume, has the price, the average true range is something, and then you can add as many. So for instance, if you say you want the RSI to be overbought or oversold. So overbought meaning that the stock is a little bit hot, and that means they give you here 3 criteria of overbought: 60, 70, 80, 90. I think by conventionally most people use 70. So this is what it will yield you, these 3 stock. HD, we saw HD earlier. So, and then for me, I'd like can just chart them here. So 4 stock, it gives you under that criteria here. You can go and just put them into your watch list very, very nicely. So if you want, let's say, oversold, on the other end of things, meaning that in this case, when something is oversold, well, it can continue oversold for a while, because the natural reaction, most traders will say, oh, it's oversold, let me buy it. It will be going up. Not necessarily. So not necessarily. And 30 is the equivalent of that 70 on there. So if we were to do that on here, let's see how many we got. 2. Viacom has just been trending down. So you want to find this opportunity really. So let's see on here, oversold 20. Well, if we did 30 and we only get 2, that's mean that we didn't have any left on there. So the RSI is another condition on here that you can use to thoroughly refine your list. The percentage change, obviously, in pre-market. So stock down a certain point, you can decide what you want to use on here. The market is not live as of now. And then if you're into technical analysis, which most newcomers you may not be into, knowing, okay, what are these in terms of a pattern, triangle ascending, wedge, a stock in the channel, double bottom. A double bottom meaning it's the stock has shown us support. And then let's see here, are there any? So typically here I've come here, okay, 2 of them. Okay, this is a recent Bumble. It's a recent IPO. Okay, it's about to form a double bottom here. That's nice. Support. Yeah, NBXI. So, okay. So, then it just requires patience. And then the stock can start after showing this. It's a bullish trend. Yeah, you can use that on that accordingly. In this case here, this is a 40. The 40, what's the price of the stock on here? This is $98 stock. I was confused on here. I was like $4 stock. No, this is the ATR. The ATR, obviously, we left ATR greater than 4, and for us to just start looking through those. But now you can see how each one of these will give you a specific subset of conditions such that you can add into your bigger watch list. Now, how big should your watch list be? I mean, typically, trading several stocks simultaneously through stock or through option is something very daunting, to be honest with you. So typically simultaneously, I could do maybe 5 at most. Sometimes when the market is really, really moving, I've had more than that, but it can become a little bit hectic to manage. So my recommendation to you is to start with this exercise on here, playing with it such that you over the course of time you will refine what condition. So in summary, you want to have stock that are moving, moving either from the prior day or in the pre-market. In the pre-market, I didn't want to make this as fancy as sometimes people will go, hey, let's bring in something on here. The relative volume is something on the, if stock is having more volume in pre-market, it's another thing that we need to mention. Typically, it's a hit and miss, because sometimes those guys, they trying to hide what's going on, right? So we have seen stock, but if a stock all of a sudden has a lot of volume, and in here a lot relative, this is pre-market volume that the stock is getting divided by its average daily volume. So for us on here is at least 1 million. So we already know that so many, if you find things on here, here we don't have anything here. The market is closed, so there's no volume indicated here today. So something usually greater than 0.5 and above, it's telling you that, there's something going on. So that's how you will go about building your daily watch list that you can trade as stock. As for us, we trade options, so it's always nice when something is gapping and moving. That's why for us, building this watch list hasn't been of an issue. It has been as simple as optionable, greater than $20, above 1 million, and from there we will just sort through the change, right? That's for us, and whichever one that's moving the most, the fastest, is our friend for that day, and in both directions. Why? Because we have a strategy here we call a gangster trade. I'm not sure if you have heard of it. We're gonna put links of other video on some of the results that we have got onto it. So it's very, very powerful. Then I will leave you with that. Thank you for your time, and we catch you on another episode. Bye bye.